The initial formation of the group known as the Kinahan cartel traces back to a modest beginning in Ireland during the 90s. Today, however, it stands as one of the most formidable organized crime entities globally, comparable to the Sicilian mafia and various Colombian and Mexican cartels. But who exactly lies behind the shadows of the Kinahan cartel, orchestrating its complex web of criminal activities? This is the tale of Christopher Vincent Kinahan Sr. Born in 1957 in Dublin, Ireland, Christopher Vincent Kinahan grew up in a fairly affluent household, his father holding a managerial position on a dairy farm. The Kinahan family enjoyed relative prosperity for the era. From a tender age, Christopher was dubbed Christy by those closest to him. However, despite the endearment of the moniker, Christy proved anything but sweet. As he matured, disillusionment with traditional education set in. It wasn't a matter of lacking intellect. In fact, Christy demonstrated considerable acumen. Rather, he found conventional education mundane, ultimately dropping out of school. As he entered his 20s, it seemed that Christy might tread the path of an ordinary life. Employed as a taxi driver, married with a young child, he appeared to have settled into a semblance of normalcy. Yet, discontent simmered beneath the surface. Once again, Christy found himself yearning for more from life, particularly in the realm of financial gain. Initially, Christy's foray into criminality was marked by minor offences, car thefts, burglaries, and cheque fraud. However, the landscape of crime in Ireland underwent a seismic shift in the early 80s following Russia's invasion of Afghanistan. Heroin surged into European markets, precipitating a widespread drug crisis, Ireland not exempted. An opportune market emerged, one that Michael O'Sullivan, a prominent law enforcement official, described as ready-made. At the time, Michael spearheaded an investigation into the surge of narcotics within the community, eventually honing in on Christy and his illicit activities. Ironically, the early 90s witnessed an abrupt transition. A void in heroin availability swiftly gave way to an inundation, ravaging inner-city communities, tearing families apart. Reflecting on the tumultuous period, the officer noted, 1 minute in the early 90s, there was no heroin available, and the next minute it was everywhere. The primary figure overseeing this drug tide was Larry June, a man with access to low-cost heroin, reaping substantial profits from its distribution. At the zenith of his criminal ascendancy, Larry commanded roughly 95% of Ireland's drug trade. However, Larry's empire faced an abrupt downfall in 1985 as a 14-year jail sentence for drug trafficking awaited him. Seizing the moment, Christy recognized his chance. Establishing connections during his stint in petty crime, he was introduced to drug dealers through an associate. Observing Larry's profitable enterprise, Christy resolved to delve into the trade himself. Swiftly, he transitioned into arranging heroin shipments into Ireland, adeptly concealing his involvement while reaping substantial profits. By 1986, Christy had ascended to the mantle of Ireland's preeminent heroin supplier. To evade police scrutiny, the crime boss adopted the guise of an English businessman, leasing a modest apartment in a Dublin suburb as his operational base. From this covert hub, he orchestrated the distribution of drugs to an extensive network of street dealers. While conducting business in Dublin, he sported the trappings of affluence, a red sports car, impeccable attire, crafting an image befitting a wealthy Englishman. Thus, he earned the moniker Dapper Don for his sartorial elegance. However, Christy's veil of anonymity proved short-lived. A relative novice to the drug trade, he committed crucial errors in distribution. In late 1986, his fortunes took a drastic turn as police apprehended him in Clondalkin with £17,000 worth of heroin. Speculation suggests he was on the cusp of distributing the drugs to his street network, an ill-fated endeavor that culminated in a 6-year prison sentence. Yet, incarceration failed to stifle Christy's ambitions. Possessing a keen intellect, he deftly outmaneuvered authorities, utilizing a computer behind bars to refine his skills as an international drug trafficker. Maintaining contact with erstwhile associates, he emerged from prison with a resolute ambition to transform his small-time gang into an international cartel. Leveraging the connections forged during his incarceration, Christy initiated drug trafficking from South America into Ireland and the UK. As his enterprise burgeoned, extending its tentacles across Europe, Christie's ambitions soared. In 1997, a brush with the law ensued, as he faced charges of possessing stolen checks. Undeterred, Christie used his 4-year sentence to pursue academic pursuits, acquiring degrees in Spanish and Russian. These credentials would prove invaluable upon his release, facilitating a widening network within the criminal underworld. Following his release, Christie relocated to Spain, where he resided for approximately 15 years. It is speculated that during this period, he orchestrated multiple drug routes into Western Europe, colluding with Mexican and Colombian cartels, as well as the Russian mafia. Swiftly establishing his cartel as a dominant force in the international drug trade, Christie seized upon new avenues for profit. Expanding beyond narcotics trafficking, his enterprise delved into money laundering and arms dealing, propelling its estimated worth to a staggering billion-pound figure. Yet with immense wealth came heightened scrutiny. Conscious of his status as a prime target for law enforcement and rival gangs, Christie plotted strategies to obfuscate his illicit activities. Moreover, evading a return to prison loomed paramount in his schemes. Thus, in 2015, he made the strategic decision to relocate to Dubai, United Arab Emirates. While Dubai maintained an extradition treaty with the UK and Ireland, the extradition process proved labyrinthine due to intricate political entanglements. Undeterred, Christie seized upon Dubai's relative sanctuary, establishing a myriad of ostensibly legitimate businesses under his middle name, Christopher Vincent. Ostensibly aligning himself with the aviation sector, he cultivated an image of a benevolent humanitarian, purporting to utilize aircraft for charitable endeavors in sub-Saharan Africa. In 2019, Christie set his sights on acquiring 9 decommissioned DHC Buffaloes from the Egyptian Air Force. The ostensibly charitable front, Crescent and Crosses, was established as the linchpin for the transaction. A web of companies, including Sea Dream Homes SL, Sea Dream Middle East General Trading, CV Aviation Consulting Services, and Crescent and Crosses Pte. Limited, were entwined in the elaborate facade. Venturing into the aviation sector, Christie and his associate, Zimbabwean businessman Adam Lincoln Woodington Wood, attended the 2019 Aviation Conference in Sharm el-Sheikh, hosted by the World Food Programme. Rubbing shoulders with humanitarian organizations, the duo meticulously orchestrated the facade of a legitimate aviation venture. In January 2020, Ibrahim Eldouki, managing director of Sea Dream Middle East General Trading, initiated negotiations with the Egyptian military for the 9 PLs. Brigadier Hisham Nabil Mon, intrigued by the lucrative proposition, green-lit the deal. Subsequent correspondence and inspections paved the way for what seemed a lucrative acquisition. However, financial exigencies proved a stumbling block. The Egyptians demanded a substantial 90% down payment, an insurmountable sum for Christie at the time. Efforts to secure financing, including consultations with Dubai-based moneylender Alpen Asset Advisor Limited, culminated in failure. Despite 21 months of negotiations, the deal faltered, leaving Christie reeling. The tide turned further against him in April 2022, as the U.S. Department of Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control imposed sanctions on Christopher Kinahan and his sons, Christopher Jr. and Daniel Kinahan. Amid mounting pressure from law enforcement agencies, Christie retreated into the shadows, presumably seeking refuge in Dubai. As speculation swirls regarding his whereabouts, one thing remains certain. The enigmatic figure of Christopher Kinahan, once a humble Dubliner, now a notorious crime boss, continues to evade the grasp of justice. In the labyrinthine world of international crime, Christie's saga serves as a testament to audacity and ambition, a modern-day odyssey of illicit enterprise and elusive pursuits. For now, the saga of Christopher Kinahan remains shrouded in the veils of Dubai, a crime lord navigating the shadows, forever eluding the grasp of the law. Should the sands of fate shift, unveiling new chapters in this gripping narrative, we stand poised to unveil the unfolding drama. Thank you for embarking on this journey into the clandestine world of Christopher Kinahan. Share your thoughts on this shadowy figure in the comments below, and stay tuned for further revelations on the Kinahan cartel. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay abreast of our latest updates. Until next time, may the shadows conceal and reveal in equal measure.